Okay, the cognitive dark forest. This was like an opinion piece. This is based on the idea of dark forest comes from, of course, the three body problem series. Uh, that is a really I don't know how to pronounce the name. The Chinese author, one of my favorite science fiction series of all time. I think his name is Cixin Liu. I'll look it up. Three body problem, and it's also become a Netflix.
I think there's a new season coming out.
Okay,
Yeah, I hope so.
Liu Cixin Liu. Yeah, it's really neat science fiction. Kind of like changes the way you think. But what the idea is that okay, not to spoiler alert. So if you haven't read the book, just don't. It's a great book. Okay, three, two, one. The idea is that if there are other alien civilizations out there, the reason that we don't see them is because the equilibrium in the universe is that it's dangerous to reveal yourself. Because if even one other civilization perceives that you're a threat, they'll just blow you up. And so, as Earthlings, we send out all these signals out into space, and maybe we'll regret that one day because someone will say, "Wow, these people might be getting smart. Should we blow them up?" And so the idea that they're making here is that it used to be we used to have an incentive to kind of share all of our ideas because actually executing was the hard part and it's the moat. But now executing is easier. So therefore, nobody say your idea because if
Hmm.
here's your idea, you can you can execute immediately.
Like
So
a Claude source code leak.
there you go. And now there's 100 clean room implementations of Claude Code and more as we speak. So I don't know. What is your reaction to this? What do you think? Do you still think that that ideas themselves are worth sharing? Right, with Dropbox as my go-to example, right?
Yeah.
You could say, all right, well, anyone can build this, but they had Dropbox. They kind of hit the sweet spot
Yeah.
first.
I don't know. I mean, I still think there are some kind of intangibles there in what could fall under execution that matter a lot. And software development is one part of execution, but there's so much more from product market fit to go-to-market strategies to, like just connecting with the entrepreneurship, the startup community and the Tech Week events last week helped me see that the space is definitely changing and we're facing new challenges and new opportunities. It used to be that it was, like you said, really hard to build stuff and ideas were cheap. It was like anybody can have an idea, but can you really build it? And now that's kind of turned on its head where it's like, hey, anybody can build it, but do you have an idea that's valuable? And so you definitely see a shifting of the scales, but I wouldn't be extremist and say, oh, it's easy to execute. Anybody can vibe code his ass over the weekend and scale it. No, there is something to technical maturity, to scalability, and the non-technical components of entrepreneurship that are important and depend on the team and depend on the market and depend on all kinds of ecosystem conditions. So I would put a big caveat to this, but I would say that it's pointing in the right direction of a tide shift happening.
Well, I think that as part of that, our expectations of what software should be is also changing, right? It used to be you kind of see your buffet of choices, and that's what you had to choose from. And now we're going to expect much more bespoke things. I want my software. I don't want to have an onboarding process with my SaaS and spend 6 months writing glue. I want it to be totally customized and bespoke to what I am, and that cost of customization is going down. So I would agree with this assessment if like you would hold the whole world fixed, but our preferences are changing and our expectations are changing. So I think if you have a great idea, your value add is going to be partially from the actual software execution, but also is it from marketing, from sales, from developing a reputation, from meeting your
And
consumers'
what does your
needs.
distribution look like? What kind of connections
Mhm.
do you have? That can make or break things. I'm seeing a lot of, again, startup ecosystem in the Bay Area. You see a lot of things get funding that have no business getting funded. And you see a lot of other things that are breakthroughs in research that have yet to be adopted in industry, or these open organizations that are just starting to try and get some commercial traction. So I would say that the criteria for success, and a lot of that sometimes depends on funding, is not always based on even just merit. And maybe this is orthogonal to that whole point, but it's just talking about the complexity and all the factors. It's
No, I,
not
th-
a one-dimensional thing.
I think that there's I don't know, maybe a tech nerd fantasy that you just kind of build the best tech and then the market will just find you.
Hmm.
And anyone who's actually tried to sell something or even help start a YouTube channel, right? You can have great content, which I think we do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that people will just find you. You still have to promote it and share it and make shorts and clips and all that stuff. That's part of the process that um, is important, right? And if we
Yeah.
had crummy microphones and I don't know, if we had no production at all, that would, even if we said smart things, it wouldn't. That's not all it takes,
Hmm.
and code is not all it takes to run a business.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, from the tech perspective, we like to think that that's all that you need. But as you mature, that there's a
Hmm.
lot of other stuff around that, like culture and sales and all that great stuff. Well, food for thought. Okay, next one I think is interesting. We're talking about benchmark. Did you like that clip? Make sure to check out our latest episode. The link is in the description. Also, make sure to check out the links for our Substack, the Trilogy AI Center of Excellence. We publish articles a couple times a week on new AI tools, approaches, comparing things, and also AI news. OpenClaw, we're diving deep into that. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. We do updates several times a week with the latest AI news, tools, walkthroughs, deep dives, lots of good things. We've got the link to our Discord. Ask us questions. We're there all the time. All right. Have a good one. See you on the next one.